Hello, welcome to Angela's Busy Bees Garden and Homestead. And today I would like to give you a tour of my fenced-in garden in the early part of August. And as you can see right here in front of me is a Blackberry bush in which I propagated the stem by sticking it into the soil. And of course this stem right here is dying back, but here are the two new shoots that will bear fruit next year. I have a tomato plant here that look like it's pretty much done. I think it's one of those tomatoes that's determinate where it will produce and then stop. So I need to pull this out of here and prepare the soil for next year. Over here I have my potato bed, and in the potato bed is some basil, thyme, and parsley. And around this bed I have some okra in the different pots, the 5-gallon buckets. And over here is some rosemary that the leaves are turning a little red, so I need to figure out why it's doing that. But here's another okra plant. Over here I have several tubs of purple hull peas. And also in these pots are my Beauregard sweet potatoes. So once all of the purple hull peas have been harvested and it's died back, then I'll be able to harvest my sweet potatoes from it. And then over here I have some more sage. And these are some gladiolus plants that were, I guess, a surprise because I don't remember putting them in this pot. But for some reason they grew up. Here's some sage, rosemary, and here, guys, is my goji berry plant that I planted this year. Also in this bed is oregano, black-eyed Susans, coneflowers. I've got onion chives, parsley as well in here. Zinnias. And as you can see here, guys, here is another blackberry vine, and what I've simply done is stuck it into the soil, and it will root and produce its own plant, and then I will come along and cut it like about right here off of the vine, and it's its own plant. Over here I have my blueberry bushes and lemon balm and spearmint in that back pot. And as you can see, I've had to elevate the pot to keep it off of the ground, to keep the roots from spreading underneath. Over in this pot I have some peppers and eggplant, and some of the peppers look like they're dying. The eggplant has lost a lot of its leaves. It's been really hot here in zone 7A, Tennessee. Here again is my lemon balm. There are some tomatoes over there that are growing quite wildly. Haven't been able to stake them up, and I also have some grass growing as well in there that I have to tend to. Here in this pot are my pigeon peas, and as you can see, they are at least 6 feet tall. And I'm hoping that it has enough time to really be able to produce before the winter comes, because it's not a plant that actually grows here in zone 7A, and I'm trying to force it to produce, and it was given to me by Dan's Food Forest Permaculture. Over here is another pot of purple hull peas and sweet potatoes. And as you can see here, the purple hull peas are doing very well, and the sweet potato vine is also vining. Next to this is my plum tree, and I have it leaning against this pot here because every time there's a rain or a heavy wind, it falls over. So I will either need to prune it back or get a larger pot for it. Here is some yellow pear tomatoes, and it's still been producing. I see a few over over down in here. See a few. Here's my cherry 100s. And as you can see, it's still producing, but not as much as it did earlier in the season. Over here I have some tomatoes and green beans. This is one of the tomato plants that I cut the stem off and rooted in water. And look at the new growth here on top, and it already has flowers coming on to produce tomatoes. And all I did was just break, once it rooted, just stuck it into some dirt, and there you have it. Looks like something is biting the leaves of the green beans, but it's still flowering, so I hope to harvest something from that. And as you can see, the tomatoes are looking kind of ugly around this time of the year because of the heat. And over here is my black cherry 100s, and of course these are my grapes, and I need to get in here and harvest some more of them. As you can see, down here I have a watermelon vine, and there are several little watermelons, but they are quite small compared to how my watermelons grew last year. So I'm not certain if I'll be able to get anything this year if there's enough time. Over here is a fig tree, and here are my moringa plants that I got from Essayon's Family Garden. They're doing well. I've harvested some moringa last Monday. Here are my okra and peppers, and they're doing well. And I have a tomato plant here, and it only has, look like, one tomato on it. And here's a closer look at the black cherry tomatoes, black cherry 100s, and they are wonderful. Over in this bed, I have another sweet cherry 100s, marigolds. I have peppers, parsley, and basil in this bed, and also zinnias. But as you can see, the marigolds and the zinnias have taken over. So I think next year what I'm going to do is have my flowers nearby, but not in the same bed as my vegetables, because they tend to overcrowd them where they're not able to get sufficient light. And I probably will go in here and trim a lot of these flowers back so that the peppers and the basil and parsley can get some of the sunlight. Over in this corner, I have more containers of green beans, lima beans, and purple hull peas with sweet potatoes in it. Here is my peach tree, and I had 2 beautiful peaches this year, and I was so excited. I'm getting peaches for the first time, and they were getting really nice and plump, and I came out one day and they were missing. So I'm not sure what happened with that. I have raspberries back along the fence line, and I'm seriously considering digging these up and moving and placing them in pots and moving them out of the fenced area because they multiply like crazy, and they're kind of taking over the area over there. Here are some more lima beans and purple hull peas with sweet potatoes. Also in the back I have my potato plants growing. Let me see if I can get over here and show you. This is my second crop of potatoes. And as you can see, it's starting to fall over. Here's another one here. I have strawberries in hanging baskets, one here and another one there. And over here is another 2 pots of purple hull peas with sweet potatoes. And this is a young grapevine. Did not produce this year, hopefully next year. More okra and potatoes in these white buckets. Over here I have sweet potatoes. Not sweet potatoes, I'm sorry, strawberries. And in the back I have some carrots and pots, strawberries. Here's my strawberry bed. And again here I had a blackberry vine that was hanging over the fence. And I just simply, once it got close enough, stuck it into a pot of soil and it will root. And once I see new growth, I'll be able to cut it off from the mother plant. There's more okra here. This is the other side of the bed, and as you can see, the zinnias are beautiful, but they're really taking over this bed and crowding out the other plants that are in here. Here's another yellow pear tomato, and it has really been producing well. The only complaint I have about it is it has a tendency to split if it gets too much rain or water. And I have more okra in 5-gallon containers. And there you have it. This is a tour of my fenced-in garden area. Oh, if I failed to mention, this container over here to the far right is a compost bin for this area of my garden. I want to thank you for joining me today, and if you're new to my channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to receive future videos. And if you are a returning visitor, thank you so much for joining me once again, and I hope you all have a blessed day. Thank you so much. God bless. Bye-bye.